Hey, happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to another Chamber Check-In episode from Idaho's only five-star accredited chamber. Today, we get to hear from a chamber member that's been a member since 2008. It's been a recent name change and a new owner, formerly known as Treasure Valley Hearing. They've been offering life-changing hearing care to the community for a long time, and I'm so excited to introduce Lexi Brumfield. She's the lead care coordinator for Hearing Life. I'm going to bring her on stage.
Hello.
Hi, Lexi.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hey, terrific. It's a beautiful day today. We had a board meeting at the airport, and it was just gorgeous. And we need that. I'm not ready for the cold yet.
No,
no. 100%.
I never am.
So Lexi, we've been doing these chamber check-ins for about almost 5 years, and it's a way to engage with our chamber member businesses, especially chamber member businesses that have been with us for a long time. And I'd love to hear and share our member stories, their products and services, but most importantly, the people. So Lexi, why don't we start with you a little bit? Tell us a little bit about your background and history of work that led you into healthcare.
Sure. So actually, my background is floral. I've been in floral since '98. I honestly just kind of got sick of it and needed a change. The medical field is it's a lucrative market, and it always has been, and it always will be. And I figured this was probably the best option for me to make a big career shift with something that I land on my feet.
How is the hearing? How did you get into hearing, though? I mean, there's a lot of healthcare out there. What drew you to this organization?
So it actually was, I got an invite through Indeed from the district manager at the time. Love your application, would love to meet with you. Can you go to my Boise clinic? Sure. Met the team here and honestly just fell in love and knew that this was where I was meant to be. And I've now been here for almost 3 years.
Awesome. There's probably something special about helping people.
Yes.
I know that when you work in your industry and you're able to provide a service that impacts them, and you get to see their eyes light up when they hear something or hear their wife tell them that they love them for the first time in a long time, that's got to be pretty incredible.
It is. It's such a fulfilling feeling that we get when we give these people something that they never thought they would have again. And that is the gift of hearing.
So now let's talk a little bit about Hearing Life. It's a brand new brand here to the market, as I mentioned, formerly known as Treasure Valley Hearing. But you're serving, there's like 4 clinics across the valley. And tell us a little bit about the story of Hearing Life. Where is it headquartered and why did they invest here in Idaho?
So Hearing Life is actually based out of Denmark originally. So Hearing Life we're actually part of a bigger corporation called the Demant Company. Demant owns Hearing Life. We also own a company called Oticon, which is the brand of hearing aids that we sell. It was founded in 1904 by a gentleman named Hans Demant. His wife was deaf, and he wanted to do everything he possibly could to give his wife the ability to hear again. And he accomplished that and has obviously created a massive empire out of it. We have 700 national locations just of Hearing Life. That doesn't include all of our international in Denmark, England, I believe France.
Wow.
Yeah, big company.
I didn't realize the story. That is so cool.
Big company.
Small businesses start out because there's usually a solution that we found a solution to a problem, or like you say, that there was passion behind trying to figure something out on the health side. You talked a little bit about the origin story of Hearing Life, and then there's 4 locations across the Treasure Valley with Boise, Nampa, like Caldwell, and Fruitland.
Fruitland, yeah.
So in your offices, your clinics, what do your clients experience? Let's say, hey, I've had one hearing test in my life. Why should people come down and see you? What's the impact? What is it like when a client comes in? What do they experience that first time hearing test?
The very first thing, we are all about the patient. And the first thing that people feel when they walk through our door is a sense of kinship. We are a family. We are here to help each other. Doesn't matter if you're a stranger coming through our door for the first time, we are here to help you and support you. That is our first goal. Second goal is giving them the most thorough test that they have ever had. We are very fortunate to have a lot of testing equipment that other companies in the Valley do not. So we are able to provide a much more extensive test and really get to the bottom of this is how severe your hearing loss is or is not, versus places like Costco that just don't have the same equipment we do.
Okay, so you have the high quality equipment, you have an experienced team. Tell us about some of your local docs.
So right now I have an audiologist here in Boise. She is fabulous. She's been doing it for over 20 years. Incredible woman and so educated. I have not seen my patients happier than they are after they see Dr. Rotman.
Hearing tests, hearing aids. Tell us a little bit more about the services that are offered.
So obviously we do sell the hearing aids here. We also maintain the hearing aids. So we make sure that we see our patients at least every 3 months. I honestly have patients I see every month. It just depends on the person. We clean them, we check them, make sure everything is working. We are able to provide in-house repairs for most things when the hearing aids stop working. Supplies, obviously, hearing aids need tips and filters and batteries and all kinds of things. We also have those here in the store.
Okay. Complimentary hearing assessments?
Yes.
Is that?
Yep.
Okay. So I can come down, just somebody can come down to your offices and be like, hey, I need to get my hearing checked. How invasive is a hearing test, by the way?
It's not at all. No, people get a little nervous. They think it's a lot more intense, almost like an eye test, like a vision exam.
Right.
It's not nearly like that. They basically just put a couple little foam tips into your ears. They play some noise in your ears and that's it.
Yeah, that was what I experienced too. I was a little anxious to come down. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. But when I'm talking to my wife or my daughter, I'm like, I'm not really hearing you. And so that was an alert for me to go get my hearing checked.
Right.
And then I discovered that I had pretty good hearing. And that was a game changer for me.
Yeah.
But what are some of the reasons to, or I guess maybe some of the symptoms that someone might experience that would lead them to coming and getting their hearing checked?
So I actually have my audiologist here. If you guys would like, I can bring her on and she can talk a lot more in depth about that.
Hey, let's do it. I'd love to hear.
Yeah. Come on in. I'll give you the floor.
Hi, hello, how are you? Nice to meet you guys. Sorry for being late. I was with the patient. Sorry for that. How are you?
Hey, I'm terrific. Hey,
my name is Dr. Rotman. I'm Tali. You can call me Tali. It's okay. I arrived from Israel to Boise, to the Treasure Valley 5 years ago. I practiced in Israel many, many years as an audiologist. And here I pursued my PhD in audiology in Idaho State University. Specifically, as an audiologist and a researcher, I'm studying the relationship between cognition and hearing in older age, which is, in my opinion, just an integrated part of oral rehabilitation. You cannot separate the ears from the brain, right?
Right.
When someone doesn't understand well speech, it's not about hearing all the time. It's also about attentional resources and working memory and other stuff that's going on in the older age. So I'm very happy to bring all my knowledge to the patients here and allow them to get a very comprehensive oral rehabilitation, not just the hearing test and selling hearing aids, of course.
Lexi is doing a great job of helping us share the origin story of the organization. Yeah. And then I asked her about the kind of some of the services and what are some of the symptoms that somebody may alert them to coming and getting their hearing tested?
Well, if we talk specifically about the elderly, about what we call age-related hearing loss. So the main complaints that we see in the clinic is people coming in and saying, I can hear, I cannot understand. Like I hear the voices in the environment, I just can't get all the words. And the reason is that in age-related hearing loss, we mainly see what we call the high tone loss. So most of the hearing loss is concentrated in the higher frequencies. So basically, this is what gives us the clarity in speech, okay? And what happens with these guys, they just miss part of the speech sounds, so they can hear part of it, but they miss part of it. So they can hear like it's muffled, it's like a mumble. It's not like clear, as sharp as we used to hear as normal hearers. Another very common symptom is that they cannot hear well in a noisy environment. Okay, so when there is a lot of noise in the environment, specifically crowd noise or bubble noise, it's really, really difficult for them to hear in this kind of environments. And many times it's not aligned or correlated with their degree of hearing loss. So we can see a patient comes into the clinic, we see just a mild to moderate hearing loss. However, their difficulty to understand speech in noise is very significant. So this is why, as part of our evaluation, we do also speech in noise testing to be sure of what's going on with this ability of the higher auditory functions in our brain, to give them an idea what type of technology they need based on their capabilities, of course.
And so you're saying that hearing aids might be a great opportunity for somebody to have more clarity in their hearing in larger groups. You can really focus in on your conversation with someone. What other things would help in hearing besides hearing aids? What other things?
So first, part of the things that I did, for example, a lot in Israel and before I arrived to the States, is a lot of auditory training. Okay, so I created a program, and I know that here in the States, we have these kind of programs that you can buy online. And then you can train your brain to hear better with the hearing aids.
Wow.
Because, hearing aids are not natural hearing. Okay, it's not that they replace the damaged cochlea or the damaged inner ear. I'm not replacing the brain, right? I need to train the brain to do its best with the hearing aids. And for that, we need to do some auditory training. We need to also to consult the patient and to guide them how to maintain and use the hearing aid correctly. Another thing which is very important is to guide the significant ones, how to deal with the person who has hearing impairment, right? Because at the end, they won't be able to hear everything like someone with natural hearing or normal hearing. So all this, envelope that we provide to the patients and their families, it's super important to allow them hear better and function better in their real life.
I remember meeting you at your ribbon cutting, maybe last month or so, and our ambassadors were there, and you took us on a tour of the facility, and everybody, you could have heard a pin drop when you were talking, because there were so many questions. This is just some type of healthcare we don't talk about as much. You have your family physician and your dentist, and you talk about that all the time, but you don't really talk about the hearing as much. And I think that sense is almost is important, or if not more. I'd love, while we have you, and thank you for coming in for a minute here, Doc.
Pleasure.
What would you like to educate the public about, and why it's important to get your hearing checked? Like, is it an Alzheimer's precursor if you start to lose some of your hearing? Tell me a little bit about that.
So this is a great question and a great comment, because I always tell people when I give presentations or lectures about awareness to age-related hearing loss, that it's always catch it as soon as possible. Okay, someone that many times I hear people asking me like, can I wait with this? Like, it's too severe, or can I wait to the point in which I won't be able to understand anybody and only then buy the hearing aids? And I'm telling them this is exactly the opposite. Like, you should catch it as soon as possible, because then we can train better the brain to hear better with the hearing aids. If we get to the point in which the patient has like severe hearing loss, our ability to help them with hearing aids will be very, very poor. So I would recommend starting at the age of 55 or so to start making an annual hearing evaluation, because usually the deterioration in hearing occurs very gradually and slowly. So it's really, really difficult to notice that you have a hearing loss. So if we get it on time, we see just the beginning when the patient can even feel it. So we can say to the patient, this is the starting point. Now we're starting to see the hearing loss. you should come every year to check your hearing and see if we need to some point to intervene with hearing aids. So I hope this answers the questions, but this is why I will recommend to the public.
No, I love it. It's early detection, the better, right?
Exactly.
Put it in your overall healthcare plan. I think it's really important. Okay, we have a couple minutes. Tell us where you're located. How do we set up an appointment with you? I've got your website scrolling on the bottom of the screen.
Okay, great. So I sit in the Boise location. So we are in 1084 North Cole Street in Boise. And I can give you the phone number. Okay, so our phone number is 208-377-0019. And we have your service every day from 8 in the morning and to 5 p.m. Also, you can call and set an appointment with us. All the evaluations are free. So we are not charging for any of the evaluation. We are part of a Better Hearing program that basically we provide all these evaluation and screenings for free to the public, because we want to encourage the people to do it, to take a step towards their better hearing. So yeah, just call us and make an appointment.
I love it. Hey, you're wonderful. Your entire team is just awesome and welcoming. And what Lexi said at the beginning about you're really a family here, and
Right.
and you treat everybody like family, and I love that. Thank you for all you do, and
Thank you.
have a great holiday season, and look forward to our next conversation.
Great. Thank you so much for the time, and have a great holiday. Bye-bye.